Okay, so today we are going to talk about how to solve equations that have more than 2 steps in them. So what I want you to do is make sure that you're getting your date down, today's date, the page number, I believe this is your page 5, and then the title, Steps to Solving Equations, and the learning target. And if you need to pause the video to do so, then you should. So then we're going to look at these steps, and these are the steps and these questions that you should ask yourself every time you are going to solve an equation. So I want you to pause the video and write down all of these steps. For example, number 1, and then A, B, and then number 2, and then number 3. You should have all these steps in your notes. So pause the video so you can get those in. Okay, what we've been doing with 2-step equations is just this number 3. So that's all you've been doing. You've been drawing your line, you've been boxing your variable, and doing the inverse operations, which in this case would be minus 4, and continuing on the equation like that. You do not have to write this example, but you may. Okay, so this is what you've been doing. Okay, you've just been doing step number 3 because all of these steps have been done for you. But every time you approach an equation, the first thing you should do is draw your line and then start asking yourselves these questions. Okay? So for example, on example 1, yes, I want you to write this. I want you to write the words example 1, and then I want you to write the actual example, and then I want you to draw your line and catch up with me. So if you need to pause it to get caught up with me, that's fine as well. So now I'm going to start asking myself these questions. Can I distribute? I don't have any parentheses. There's nothing to be distributed, so I cannot distribute in this one. So I'm going to put a little check mark so we can see that we've done that. Now we're going to talk about combining like terms. Do I have any like terms? I do. Remember, you're only looking on one side of the equal sign, so I'm only looking at this side right now. And I do. I've got this term is just like this term. Remember to grab the sign in front of it. If you don't, you are setting yourself up to possibly make a mistake. So now I'm going to combine those like terms. 5x plus 4x is 9x. And then I've got this minus 3 that I haven't done anything with, so I just drop it down. And then this 15. So I'm going to ask myself the same questions on the right side. Can I distribute? No, that's just a 15. Can I combine like terms? No, that's just a 15. So I've done step B, 1B. Now I'm going to look at step number 2. Move all your variables to the same side. Well, I've only got one variable. It's right there. So I don't have to worry about that. They're all on the same side here. They're all on the same side here. So now that I've got them all on the same side, I'm going to follow this step. This step is what you've been doing. It's now a 2-step equation. Okay, so you can ignore this. You've already done it. Don't worry about this step. You've done that. That's how I got the 9x. So now I'm going to box my variable. And just like before, do the inverse operations. Remember, I got to move what's right next to my box. So how do I move minus 3 from one side to the other? Well, I got to do the opposite, which would be add 3. And I can check myself. I can take the calculator and say, well, is negative 3 plus 3 0? And if it is, then I can cross it out. If not, then I need to rethink what I'm doing here because whatever I did didn't work. It has to be 0 before I can cross it out. So what's left on this side? 9x. And on this side, I end up with 18. Okay? So now I've got 9x equals 18. This is 9 times x, right? So how do I undo times? Divide. And I'm left with x equals 2. Because 9 divided by 9 is 1. And 18 divided by 9 is 2. And I now know that 1x, or just x, because that's the same thing, is equal to 2.